What's the role of women in nutrition, and why is it so important from your vantage point to really empower them in how families are making decisions around nutrition?
Yeah, so worldwide, women usually are the person who's at the center of making the decisions about what the family eats, what gets cooked, what gets served. And so her being empowered in that role to both know what nutrients are in foods and what is available and what she might add to her or her family's diet is incredibly important. And when you empower a woman and she has the ability to even grow something different on her farm, it can make an enormous difference to her children's health and her health, particularly as a pregnant woman, and have a generational effect on her kids.
Basically, everything gets better when women are running the show.
Pretty much.
Let's just call this what it is. I think so much of what we end up dealing with are the symptoms that come from poor nutrition and lack of economic power that stems from that agricultural start right there.
Absolutely.
You solve that root problem, all these other things that we spend a lot of resources on actually can work themselves out.
Absolutely. In fact, we didn't think as a foundation we were going to get involved originally in nutrition. We were looking at global health. But if you look at underlying something like pneumonia or malaria, yes, those diseases come up for different reasons. You're exposed, but if you have a healthy immune system, which starts with having good nutrition, you're less likely to get those diseases. And so that underpinning of good nutrition, we think actually accounts for about half of global health burden of disease for children. And that's why nutrition is so incredibly important.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That really speaks to a huge percentage of the global goals that we're trying to achieve, just in targeting that one area of intervention.
That one area. And yet it feels hard to get at. You say nutrition, it seems like a big thing, right? Everything from agriculture to what do they have access to what goes on the table. But again, we know like a country like Peru, when they choose to focus on it, so Peru made a goal of reducing stunting in their country. And so successive president after president after president did the same program over a decade, and they reduced their stunting rate by basically from 28% to 18%. It's a huge drop in stunting. And honestly, when you go to some of these countries, you can actually physically see the difference in the height of people now when you step out into a village. It's really remarkable.
Being in the point of pregnancy is such a vital time, both I think for the nutrition of the unborn child, but also the education of a mom. How was your experience as a mom going through that? And I just had a baby, so I've been going through this. Well, my wife just had a baby, to be very clear. She would tell you I had no baby. She had the baby. But how was that experience for you, and how does that inform how you think about engaging particularly pregnant women?
Sure. Well, I think, again, pregnant women having access to the right nutrients is just vital. You know, in the U.S., we're lucky because they give you pregnancy vitamins, so if you're missing something, you take them every day. I will tell you, I was hungry all the time when I was pregnant. I mean, I was just constantly eating. I was trying to put the right things in my body. But it also then, if you're well fed, it does help with some of the fatigue issues, right? I cannot imagine being iron deficient and being pregnant. I've been iron deficient once in my life, not during pregnancy. The fatigue is unbelievable. You feel like you just can't go on. So to be properly fed during those months of pregnancy, then you can go on and breastfeed your child. And you know, worldwide, we know the gold standard for feeding children is to exclusively breastfeed them for the first 6 months. And again, that reduces a huge amount of mortality in children if they're exclusively breastfed. But a mom can't efficiently do that if she's not well fed. And I think that's one of the things one of the reasons I'm glad we're having this nutrition summit, that the world is having it in Milan in November, is to really bring out all of these issues. Bring out the issues about the importance of breastfeeding, about how hard it is, the importance of the 1,000 days of life, the importance of making sure women have access to agriculture inputs so they can grow more and have more income. We have to look at this as on all the levers of change of how we move this forward for women who will help move it forward for families, and how we include men in the conversation to be part of it, because they are part of it,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
What inspired you to get in the business of food, of making food?
Originally, when I was a young chef, I just wanted to see the world, and I loved food, and it's a language that's universal, and it took me, all over the world. But then as I started to really dig into it, most of the big challenges that we're facing come back to what we're eating and how we're producing it. And once I started asking the basic question, what were the implications on the health of the person that I was feeding, and what were the implications on the land that was producing the food? Once I went down those two paths, there was sort of no turning back.
Well, I hope you keep using your voice in this space because it's really loud and clear, and I think can inspire others.
It's my life. I'll be with you working on this for the rest of my life.
Great, love it.